Fam, thank you for choosing to watch this episode of Mind the Mic podcast. Before we get into it, though, I need you to hit subscribe. And not just me, the whole Mind the Mic podcast family needs you to. Maddie, Uncle Pete, Stu, Leka, and of course myself, Shubz, and anybody else that's on board by the time you watch this video, we need you to hit subscribe. If it's your first time here, I understand if you're a bit reserved and you're like, I don't know, watch the video and after subscribe if you want to. But if you're here and you're watching all the time, subscribe. It's not that hard. All you got to do is, if you're watching on your TV, you're like, I can't subscribe, I don't have an account. You have a phone, don't you? I know you have a phone in your hand right now. Grab the phone, create a YouTube account. It takes a couple minutes, and then you can subscribe. And when you do that too, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time we put up a new episode. I asked this of you because we put in so much time. We've done hundreds of episodes. We plan on doing thousands more with as many amazing people as we can. But we need you to subscribe, fam. Big love to everybody that's been watching. Big love to everybody that's been supporting and anybody that's just arrived. I hope you enjoy the journey, enjoy the episode, and subscribe. Hey, welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host, Shubz, here with a special guest, an entrepreneur, former professional athlete, played a bit of American football, but from New Zealand, I just found out too. I didn't even realize that. Hey, Quincy Hewitt, what's good, sis? How are you?
Good, thanks. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure's all mine. Grateful as. So, for anybody that doesn't know who you are, can you give us a little synopsis on yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So briefly, I'm from New Zealand, born and raised in Kaitaia, the real far north.
The real far north.
The real far north. And I moved to Australia in my late teens. I played American football, so I ended up playing for New South Wales. And then the league actually got cancelled here. So then I went to the US and I played a season in Los Angeles and 2 seasons in Chicago, which was really cool.
For Temptation.
Yeah, so I played Temptation and then the Chicago Bliss.
Did you play with Kiana or?
Yeah, I played with Kiana in New South Wales and LA.
Oh yeah, Kiana's been on the podcast.
Oh, no way. Yeah, she's playing league now.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. There you go. So,
yeah.
But born and raised in Kaitaia, till what did you say? Late teen?
Yeah, until my late teens, and then I moved to Auckland and then Australia.
What was the family dynamic like when you were growing up? Like how many siblings you got? Where your parents come from?
Yeah, my dad's Māori, my mum is Australian, and I have 2 sisters and a brother, so big family and loads of cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, if you know the far north, you know what it's kind of like. It's very beautiful back in the day. Obviously, lots of beaches, like farm kind of lifestyle. It's changed a lot now. I think it might have gone downhill a little bit. I know that in the north there's a lot of I don't know if it's like people talk about it or not, but like ice and things like that happening up there. So it's a little bit sad, but it's still a beautiful place. There's still really beautiful people.
Have you been back much since you were young?
No, I haven't been back in years, probably like almost 10 years, which is really bad. I do have family there, but like every time I want to go on a trip, I always feel like I want to go somewhere new and exciting, not back home.
Yeah. That's the thing too, because go see the world as well. I get it. But so where's your family? Are they in Australia mostly, or like
Australia and New Zealand?
Okay, solid.
Yeah.
And your mum, where is she from?
She is from Brisbane originally, like that's where she is, but she lives in Sydney. My dad still lives up north, and my 2 sisters still live back in New Zealand.
No, solid. If you could tell people what life was like for yourself growing up, what would you say? Like up those ways.
I feel like I had like an amazing childhood. I think that New Zealand has so much to offer for kids, like compared to kids nowadays. Like all we ever did was just like run around, making fun for ourselves, playing sport, going to the beach, diving, fishing, horse riding. Like it was just like constant adventure. Yeah, I think I was really lucky. Like my parents liked to travel, so we traveled internationally once every year because they owned a backpackers, so they were like,
true.
Yeah, so we were always around like international people and different cultures. So like that's kind of what I grew up in. So that's why the small town was like too small for me. Like as soon as I could leave, like I moved to Australia and then to the US, and like I've always just been like traveling and like looking for the next thing, I guess.
True. What's some of the most memorable experiences you can think of having parents that own a backpackers? Like, you got any memories of those times that stick out to you?
Yeah, I definitely like we used to have people that would come and stay long term. I don't know if backpackers is a big thing now, but back in the day, like people could stay for like $11 a night. Like it's cheap accommodation,
Yeah.
and people would come and stay 3 months or something, and they would work at the backpackers, gardening, helping out for free board, and then they would become like families. So we would then go, like we went to a wedding of some people that stayed at our backpackers in Israel, and we traveled around Israel for 3 months, to the border of Lebanon, and like just such cool experiences that you wouldn't, it wasn't like normal family holidays. You could go to like or the Gold Coast or stuff like that. Like it was really got to see some incredible places all around the world just because my parents made friends there. So it wasn't like we were going there and staying in a hotel. We'll stay on like a cotton farm, someone's farm. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like really, really unique experiences. So I think that's probably like the highlight of it. And just being like really comfortable around lots of different cultures and like understanding. My business partner here, who I met through football, she is Thai. Obviously, I love the Thai culture, the Thai people. They're really chill.
Yeah, they are. Shout out to the Thai cousins, man. Yeah, Thai, beautiful people too, and beautiful food too. Up the Thai food.
Are you based here in Australia?
I'm in Perth. Yeah, I'm in Perth.
Oh, okay, nice.
A few Thai cousins out here too. How did you and your, I guess, we'll bounce all over the place, but how did you and your business partner hook up? As you meet?
Okay, so Jane she was the quarterback for Queensland. So she represented Queensland. We played our very first football game that we ever played against each other. So it was New South Wales, Queensland. They did like an origin matchup. And so I was actually against her. So it's really funny looking back because my first memories of her was like telling the defense to like take her head off and like.
What were you? What position did you play?
I played tight end.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Yes,
and then when I moved to
Travis Kelce,
right, and Gronk,
Gronk, the Gronk.
Yeah, so when I moved to America, then she became my quarterback, and then obviously the tight end quarterback is, quite tight. So then it was my job to protect her. So it went from being like aggressive to very protective, and then we from LA together to Chicago. So we did 3 seasons together. We became best friends.
Wow.
And then we won the national championship in 2018 in Chicago, and then we retired together. So that's kind of how we transitioned. We were kind of like, what do we do now? Like we've just been living this like really cool life. We've been traveling, we've been overseas. We get to train in like all of these amazing facilities and like see all of these, like we don't want to just come home and like just go back to like real life.
Okay.
So we're like the next step gets to be bigger and better, but like what is that? And that's kind of how we transitioned. Actually, our first business when we got back was called Athletes for Athletes, and we were helping athletes transition into life after sport because it's a really
that's a big market too.
Yeah, because often, people just have no idea. If you're an athlete your whole life, you don't know anything else, and it's very like rewarding. And then when you retire, there's like it's kind of almost a bit of depression. And then like, who am I outside of sport? What is my identity? What do I stand for? What are my values? You go through like a midlife crisis. And I think that the next step gets to be bigger and it gets to be better. And I was really passionate about that. I mean, I still am.
Yeah.
And I think now with the internet, it makes life so much easier. Like back in the day, to build a business was very expensive. And I mean, it is still expensive. But now with the internet, it just evens the playing field a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it gives opportunity for people to make money online without having to go and get a brick and mortar business and business loans. And, you know, like, I don't know, it's just totally different. So I think there's heaps of cool opportunities. So we started with that, and then we ended up down the path, like business, it always kind of changes, and we made our own fitness app. And that was really cool. But we
What was that
invested.
called?
It was called Yubbish Fit.
Yeah, but sure.
Yubbish Fit. And it was a booty app. It was like more designed for mid-sized women. It's not about getting skinny. It's about loving your body and working out because you love yourself, and building your booty, snatching your waist, like all the things that we wanted, rather than when you go to a gym and they try and like tell you what to do. It was like, no, I just want to like work on like what I want to work on. So that was the premise behind it, which was really cool. But we did invest a lot of time, money, and energy into it. And it was really hard because we didn't have a big marketing budget. There's loads of different fitness apps out on the market. And
True that. Saturated.
yeah, and it was just really hard. Like we couldn't even give it away. Like we made it free and people still didn't want it. And it was cool. Like it had so many cool programs. So that was during COVID. And while so that was fine. So we're working from home, we're building the business, you're learning stuff as you're going. You know, it's expensive, but you're making mistakes and you're kind of learning. It was COVID, we kind of put on weight, we're feeling a bit like sluggish, gross, you know, like how everyone was just at home, like eating like every single snack under the sun. And Jane's auntie gave us this bag of Thai tea, and it was all in Thai, like I couldn't read it. And she's like, it's really good for like bloating and weight loss. And it was this, like, we opened it up, it was like a big bag of herbs, and you pour it into this like boiler bag, tie it in a knot, put it in a pot, and you boil it. 3 liters of water, and then you put it in your fridge and you just have a cup at night before bed.
Yep.
Like we had no idea what was in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're not the type to be like, I need to research all of these ingredients. And we drank it, and it was so good. Like it really like flushed us out. We're like, holy shit, like this tea is legit. And then we contacted her and we said, what's the website? Like we want to get more, because we just shared that bag. And she said, oh, there's no website. Like you can only get it in the markets in rural Thailand. And we're like, what the hell? So we got her auntie to get her auntie's mum to go to the market and then post it to us. It was like 3 or 4 week process to wait for the tea. Well, like there's got to be like a better way. Like we need to be able to get our hands on this. It took us like a year and a half to like get in with the manufacturing, make a relationship with them, white label the product. And that's how our current business, Not Another Detox Tea, was kind of born. So it was already a natural remedy that's used in Thailand, and we just made it available to the Western world, basically.
Yeah. So how do you know, like when you say like it cleans you out, like how do you know that it cleans you? Like how did like you what's the
You
vibe
go
to
to
know that?
Yeah, like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. It's all natural, but like, yeah, there's nothing that's left behind. So you just feel so light and empty, and like you lose all the puff, the bloatedness, the constipation, like everything. Your system just gets like a full clean out. So it's really good. There's loads of anti-inflammatory properties. There's loads of the tea itself, like each ingredient has so many good individual health benefits.
Yeah.
But the one that woman, and this is something that like I think is important to touch on, because I know that nowadays women and their weight, like this is a really sensitive topic, and people, you can't run ads to anything to do with weight loss. Like there's lots of restrictions around it, and it's fair enough because it's about being body positive. But at the end of the day, women.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't run ads about losing weight? Is it true?
There's just gets rejected. Like there's loads of restrictions around even the word weight loss, before and afters. Like you can't. Yeah, and I get it, because there are lots of people that feel a certain type of way. But yeah, it's really...
Yeah, I mean, I get it too, but like it's still anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
The world is crazy. There's so many restrictions.
It is. She's crazy.
Yeah, but we do a lot of research, and we talk to all of our customers, and every customer gets a questionnaire, even customers that come through the checkout and don't check out, because we want to know, like, why didn't you buy? Why did you buy? What are you looking to achieve? All of that. And everything comes back, women, weight loss, weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. So
don't you say that, Quincy.
that's what people want. So that's what we're giving them.
Yeah, but then you say, so how do you frame it instead of saying that?
Well, I think you just got this a million different ways. We have a marketing team who try and like skirt around it. On your own personal social media, like on our organic socials, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, with paid ads, but it's really cool. We get to meet loads of people. Like obviously, Peter, you had her on the podcast.
Well, I had her husband first, I'll have you, and then
we actually worked with both of them. Such a nice couple. She messaged us out of the blue. She was just a customer, and she's so nice. Just said, hey guys, just wanted to let you know I've used the tea. Thank you so much for making it. It's like such a good product. Thanks for making it.
So that's not just for chicks, eh? That's not just for humans,
anyone can use that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I thought it was just for the aunties. My bad.
I mean, majority of our customers, I would say 99% are women. I think that's what drives it. But a lot of women say, I buy the tea and my husband steals it. So it ends up being for both of them. Or a lot of them buy it using husband's credit card. So
get it, aunties. That's
right. Yeah, so she just messaged out of the blue. It was really nice. I was like, oh, she's so nice. I went and looked at her page. I was like, oh, let's try and like work with them. They're like really cool, motivated. Like he's on, they're on like a big.
Fit there. That's good.
Yeah, so cool. I saw the other day he put up a post about racing his daughter. I don't know if you saw it. They went for a race and then he lost. And then the other daughters said, you should have let dad win. And he's like, no, like that's not the mentality. Like you always like try and like win. You don't need to. I thought it's so cool because the message behind what he's doing is really powerful. Like I think obviously it's inspiring people to see the transformation, but like little stuff like that, it like goes a little bit deeper into like mentality, I don't know, and stuff like that. Yeah, and like how you show up for your kids and like what you're teaching them, and I don't know. I think it's really cool.
I think especially in this world when you like, as you said about, which is new to me. I didn't know you couldn't say weight loss and that stuff. Like in a world where so much stuff is being taken away from you, like your ability to say stuff that I think is just stupid. I think a lot of things like that stuff. But anyway, because everyone gets offended. But also we're in a world where 8th place trophies get given out, which like you're an athlete, like, you know what I mean? Like how do you birth winners? How do winners become winners if they just get given like fucking trophies for losing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and it doesn't make you a fucking worse person if you lose. So, you know what I mean? It's just like the bro was better than you, and that's okay. There's life sometimes, you know. If you want to beat him, go do the mahi. Go put in the work. You know what I mean? Or her.
It's really, really scary. It's going to be interesting times to see like this next generation that are growing up in this very what they turn out like. And I get it.
You got any sis? You got any kids?
No, I am pregnant at the moment. But
are you? Oh, can baby have some tea too or not?
No tea while you're pregnant or breastfeeding, which is so annoying because we actually get messages.
Why is that?
Well, it's just not good to do a detox while you're pregnant. You know, it's a time to nourish your body. You don't want to activate any kind of detox while you're in that process of having bubs. And when you're breastfeeding, you don't want anything because, you know, you could detox stuff out of your milk. You don't want the baby drinking your toxic milk. We get that question is probably the most asked question we ever get is from pregnant women, can I drink this while pregnant? And prior to being pregnant, I thought, women are crazy. Like, why are they trying to do a detox when they're pregnant? This was my mindset. And then I got pregnant and then I realized how constipated you are. And I was like, oh my God, I get it now. Like, this is why they're online. They're looking like natural solution for making myself poop. Yeah. So.
Wow. How pregnant are we now? Can we know, or is that
6 months? I haven't actually really announced it.
There you
But
go.
getting there, I know I'm getting puffier and puffier.
On the journey. Do you know what you're having? Like, you haven't put that out, you haven't a reveal, or you already done that? What?
No, I have. I mean, I'm having a girl. I haven't done a reveal. I'm just not really into that kind of.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more low key, to be
Yeah,
honest.
solid. What about the bow? Or are you, or is this you got a husband, whatever?
I don't have a
Brother?
husband. I have a partner.
A partner, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the flavor? What's the flavor of the brother?
He's Fijian.
Hey, mana, hey, bola manaka, let's go. Solid.
Yeah. So
How did you legends meet?
we met through business.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So I was leaving a business meeting. He was going to one. So it was very random.
Oh, bit of a water cooler bump. No. Solid, too much. That's on. And so, how long have you been in business with this? What's the tea brand called again?
Not another detox tea.
That's it. I just wanted you to say that. Not another. You came up with the name.
Yeah, just over a year.
Oh yeah.
What did you say? Who came up with the name?
Yes.
I think I did actually. I think it's perfect because there are so many products on the market. So it's not like we're new. I think that we're just doing it like we've just got a product that really works. Most girls, who ask them, they've tried different detoxes, pills, fat burners, slimmers. Like there's so many different things out there. Like, and girls are always trying something new. So it's nice to be able to put out a product that works. Like in the 12 months that we've been operating, we've got like our return customer rate is crazy, like way above industry standard. I've had someone order 12 times. Like, do you know what I mean? Like girls love it. They use it all the time. So
also you can use it all the time, not
so you obviously can't use it every day, but you would do a detox, you could take a break, and then you can do another one.
What's a break? Like, what's a break period?
Depends on what your goals are. Because obviously everyone's bodies are very different. If you have a goal of losing 30 kgs, then obviously it's different to someone who wants to lose 5. I would say like do a full 14 days, have a break of 7, and then I would go again. If you get to your goal weight, I would suggest, and this is what Jane and I did once we were at our goal weight, it's just then you just have the tea like maybe twice a week. So just like whenever you feel like it, like, oh, I'm feeling a bit like bloated or a bit puffy, you just take the tea. A big weekend, you just take it on a Sunday night, flush out on Monday, you feel like you're back to good. So yeah, so everyone just like has a pack in their cupboard just in case.
There you go, fam. Get amongst it, eh? Not another detox tea. I like the name too. That's like reminds me of like, I don't know, just like, because that's what I thought when you hear that when Peter talked about it, I was like, oh, not another detox tea. Because I've heard all the sisters out there like on these things, but hey, she swears by it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting as well because you're starting to now see some patterns with our clientele, and we're very popular with the island community, we're very popular with the Māori community. Indian as well, which is interesting, but like more so that like I mean I didn't really have any expectation on who was going to buy it, but I think the girls really love it.
Yeah,
the Islander girls.
Good on you. Well, a year deep in, like you said. So what's the average return customer rate? You said you're way above the industry standard. You said
yes. So like a good return customer rate in the industry is about 30%.
Yeah,
I reckon we're probably 65.
Wow, that's good. And who knows? Those other ones could come back too. You never know. So you know.
Yeah, I think so. And we've only had one product, so that's kind of been not to our detriment. But like if you go on most people's websites, especially all of our competitors, they have like so many other products. So you can bring a customer in for this, but then once they use a product of yours, if they know it works, then they're more likely to buy a different product. But we just had the one where we are launching a new product end of this month.
Okay.
But because yeah, I can give a little bit of info. I haven't like announced what it is, but it's going to be another tea, and it's, oh my God, girls are going to go crazy for it. It's it's a very popular trending topic at the moment. It's for the hungry girls.
Hungry girls, what do you mean? Because hungry could be many things.
Well, I just think like it's really hard. This is the issue that a lot of women have. myself included, when you try and do some kind of diet or you change your lifestyle, the cravings don't go away. The hunger and desire and all the lifestyle choices and that doesn't go away. And if you can just reduce the craving down, then it's not so bad. Okay, so like this is how I put it. If you break up, some people, like if you break up with your partner and you're really sad and you're not hungry, right? So I don't know, that happens to a lot of girls. So you could go and you're just like, there's no desire to eat. So you can lose weight really quickly because you're just not hungry. You're just not interested in it. And if you can take away like that craving, then you can make smarter decisions because you're like, I'm not that hungry. I know I need to eat. So I'm going to choose something that's healthy and wholesome, not like, oh my God, I'm fucking starving. Where's the next like Macca's right now? So it makes it easier. So so this product's in line with that. I know that Ozempic is like a crazy topic around the world at the moment, and lots of people are losing weight. And I don't know if it's so big here in Australia and New Zealand. It's definitely big in the US. And people, so, and lots of brands are now like kind of jumping on that train. So, yeah. Okay.
There you go. But even how important do you think, like, even athletes are like some of them, like some of those, they get in amongst it too? Like you being a former athlete.
I think it's like I used products similar to this when I was an athlete. So I definitely think there's a place for it. It just depends on what type of athlete. I think everyone's bodies, regardless of what they do, can do with a cleanup every now and then. Whether you're someone that's doing it because you want to lose weight or you actually just want to feel better. Once or twice a year, you do a big detox, you flush out like so much shit. Like you think like, how do I have this much shit inside me? Like I'm full of shit. That's legit. Like you think like, how is it still coming out? Like, where is it all been sitting and stored? And most people.
So you're talking about when you drink this, you're gonna, like, even if you haven't eaten anything, like stuff's coming out of there.
Yeah, because there's so much stuff built up in there, like so much. So it takes 8 to 10 hours. You drink it at night. The next day you wake up. A lot. You could go like 6 times. And then once your body, so over the first few days, there are a lot, and you're thinking like,
is it like if you get food poisoning, is it like that kind of sore, or is it sore, or is it just liquidy?
We've actually brought up this topic a few times recently. Some people do experience some kind of nausea or cramping, and that is usually to do with their toxic load. It's not so much, or their hydration. Like if you're dehydrated and your body is trying to like squeeze, like the muscles are contracting to squeeze out the excess waste, but there's no fluid to help flush the process, it can create pain. But most people find within a few days, like just hydrate that first few days and then it's fine. Just got to push through.
Hydrate, baby, hydrate.
Cool mentality of like, which is different to nowadays, like how we're talking like with all the kids and everyone's a little bit like pussy now, but like sometimes like you just got to do something and okay, after this I'm going to feel really good and just like push through.
So you're getting rid of, like, what kind of things? Can you speak on some of the things that you're getting rid of, like well,
I just like over years we build up toxic waste that's not always flushed, so things just sit in our colon and they rot.
Bro, I need to get some of this tea, cuz sounds like, let's go.
And a lot of people, like if they actually like track it, like obviously some people don't want to look at what's coming out, but you can see like the top of the water in the toilet can be like cloudy. Sometimes you can look, it's like black and you're thinking like, what is coming out now? Mucus, like there's so many things that can build up in there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, but I mean, it's also like normal, right? Everyone goes to the bathroom, no one really talks about it.
Yeah. Life, part of life. You know what I mean? Hey, you don't eat, you don't shit, you die.
Exactly.
What's in that? Oh no, you can't do the TA. So, what kind of water are you drinking? Alkaline.
Supposed to hydrate you. bad. I've been sick the last few weeks, or last week, really sick. So I've been trying to, I've got electrolytes here as well, trying to hydrate, because when you're pregnant as well, there's limited, you can't take like cold and flu. You've just got to do all the natural remedies.
Yeah, 100. How are you like with the whole pregnancy vibe? You like how's the back, all that kind of stuff? Because I know it gets hectic. I've had 3 kids. Not I didn't have them, but my big mum had them. But I know I've seen the experience, what it's like watching. You just go through that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. I've been very lucky, I think, compared to a lot of people. You hear horror stories. I was always someone that never really was interested in having children. So,
true.
yeah, it wasn't really on my plan. Like I was, growing up, all of my girlfriends that I went to school with got married and had families, and it just wasn't really my vibe. Like I was traveling, I was always having fun, and then the businesses, and it just wasn't on the agenda.
Yep.
But yes, actually a bit shocking, but now I'm used to the idea. I'm excited about it. But I think I'm lucky. Like I'm fine, fitness wise. I feel like I pant, like you get tired really quick. So like cleaning, you're like you've really pumped all the time. Yeah. And we live in a place that has stairs. So by the time I get up the stairs, I'm like puffed. I'm like, geez, my fitness is so bad.
Was I even an athlete?
Yeah, right. No, exactly. And that's obviously limiting as well. You can train, but you can't train to.
Have you been training or? Nah.
I didn't the first train. I was really sick. Like, well, not really sick. I just felt hungover all the time. So I didn't train. I've got back into it now, but I'm just not putting pressure on myself. I just train if I feel like it. I'll just go and do some stuff just to move, to feel good, because you can feel like a bit of a slug. Or a fat bitch, as that's what I keep thinking. Like, oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah. But yeah, no, not putting too much pressure. I mean, once I'm done breastfeeding, I'm gonna have the 2 T's, so I'll be sweet.
Yeah, you'll be sweet. Hey, straight on. Do you have a plan for that? Like, are you gonna breastfeed for a long, like whatever long? Like some people be breastfeeding out there, their kids be like 3, 4.
I definitely wouldn't do that long. I mean, I would just be grateful to be able to do it. I don't know if everyone can, so I'm going to give it a crack. Maybe a year. I don't know. I haven't I'm not actually very planned or organized with this. I've got so much shit on my plate. Like I just keep thinking like, oh, I've only got 3 or 4 months left. Closer to the time I'll start thinking. I know this is me when I first got pregnant. I'm like, how long are you pregnant for? Like I have to Google everything.
What about mum? Like, is mum excited, dad? Or?
Yeah, everyone is really excited. Actually, it's quite nice. It's nice when other people are more excited. I think everyone's got a plan and an opinion, and you've got to do this, and have you bought this? I'm not buying anything. Like I can't be bothered. Like I just soon later.
Solid. That's exciting though. Even though you didn't plan it, but hey, good on you. Go get it, and you're excited now and keen, and I'm sure you'll be with the. All the mahi you've put in and all the life experiences you've had, I'm sure that'll you've had sounds like a good upbringing. I'm sure.
Yeah,
you'll give it your best shot. Like parenting is learning on the job anyway. So yeah.
Right. And there's so much information on the internet about. I mean, everything, but parenting especially. The algorithm, once it kicks in, if you look at one...
Yeah, then boom. Babies
everything you see, women mums are just fighting.
Well, you know what it is too? I reckon, obviously I'm not a mother, but, I just think that you can never get ready really for kids. You can say I'm financially in a good place, whatever, but there's heaps of shit that life will throw at you or that kids will throw at you. all the Google searches in the world, you wouldn't even know, like, just gonna, you know what I mean? You can sit there, read all these manuals or listen to one person, because each person's experience as a parent is different. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so each individual as a human, our experiences are, we might have some similarities, but they're all unique journeys, right? So,
yeah,
um, pro-
100%. And I think just staying true to like what feels right for you rather than like doing what the crowd
that's
is
it.
doing.
100.
Like, I mean, I know that's
Yeah,
hard, but like, I think you know what's right for you. You know what's right for your kids.
yeah, hard.
Mm.
And you're learning. So say we're learning every day. So that's what I say to my kids anyway. Learning every day. You know what I mean? Sure,
Yeah.
life's the journey. Yeah. Growing up, were you an athlete too when you were a kid as well? Like, did you play sport? What sports did you play if you did?
Yeah. I played every sport. It's so interesting because growing up, my family are all really athletic. So mum and dad were netball, basketball, rugby, and
Yeah.
all of us kids played netball, basketball, rugby, cricket, swimming, like everything. But my two sisters are really exceptional athletes, and I was kind of good but not like great. And like my older sister, she went through the ranks. She played basketball for New Zealand, she played rugby for Northland. Like she was always like picked in rep teams, and I was often selected for teams because they were like, oh, you're Chelsea's little sister.
Oh, true, true.
Yeah. And like, or my mum would be standing next to the selectors, like, oh yeah, that's Chelsea's sister. You know what I mean? Like always trying to get me in there. So I gave it a good crack, but I wasn't naturally like that skilled. But I just think I worked really hard, and that was like the difference when I got older and I started playing American football. I really just like put all of my time and energy into it. So it wasn't that I was especially gifted, I just worked hard.
It's mahi, eh? So what got you into American football then? Like, how did that I guess opportunity come about, or were you just doing it as a hobby first before you? How did this work?
Yeah, so I did it was called Warrior Dash. It was one of those, you go on the weekend with your friends and you run around an obstacle course, and there's like jump fire and you go through the mud, and those kind of things, like a Tough Mudder, but it was just a 5K one.
Oh yeah, tough mudder, yeah.
Yeah, and I was in the beer garden afterwards. I had like this big Bavarian hat on. I was drinking, and someone came up to me and they said, "Oh, you look like you'd be good at playing American football." And I was like, "I don't even know what that is." And they were like, "Oh, my friend is recruiting for this team, Shari Onley." So she was on one of the Gladiators back in the day.
Oh yeah, like the Gladiator Australia, like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she was recruiting. So I just thought, oh, why not? I'll just go and check it out. And I went along and I started like training with like a local team,
Yep.
just for like fun, just something to do. When you're not at school anymore, you miss that like group team kind of environment. And it just was
Hmm.
coincidental. Like within like 3 months of starting to train with that team, the LFL came out from America and did their big tour, and they started selecting for different states. So it was just like really good timing.
And then boom.
Yeah, and then we had like such a cool squad down there. The girls were all like super motivated. So yeah, kind of just flowed on from that. So I was very lucky.
Solid. Did you end up like supporting a team in like the NFL or anything or not?
Uh not really, because we got to train with so many players that like we would go for teams because we had friends that played in different teams, but I didn't have like a main team.
Oh,
I
did you?
would say
You actually got to train with like who? Like what teams did you train with?
no, not with the teams. Like in their off season, they all go home to their different states and they train at sports performance
Yeah,
facilities.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I get
So
what you mean.
we would train at the same facilities, and they would just rep us through the same stuff that they were doing. So it was really cool.
Like who's
Really
some of
cool.
the players? Can you name some of those?
Yeah, I don't know if you'll know any of them. Nate Palmer, he was for
I know Clive Palmer.
oh, there's so many, and now I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't even pull any
Pretty
of them.
dope though. But yeah, but they obviously played in the NFL though, and you like you said they're back home and they're training their centers or whatever, and you got to run some drills with them,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
some
So
stuff.
yeah, lots of them, and like the work ethic and the training level over there is like just mind blowing. Like the facilities that they have and the way
Yeah.
that train in their off season is really cool. Like it's a cool experience. Like they go in the morning, they spend pretty much like 6 or 7 hours a day in a facility. So they'll go in, they do stretching, maybe like half an hour, 40 minutes is just like warming up their body. All the food, the shakes, then they'll do like, some field work, and then they'll come in, then they're going to have a meal, and then they're going to do a lift, and then they're doing an ice bath. Like in their off season, like it's so competitive over there, like the way that they look after their bodies. They have their own decompression chambers at home. Like it's just totally different world. It's really cool.
What were you doing when you were over there? Like, or what were you doing like off season wise? What were you up to then? Like, because I know it's only like, was it 6 months or not even, or how long? And then you go, what would you do outside of that? Or were you living in America, or were you going home, come back to Australia?
No, I was trying to. So one season I went to Florida and worked on the super yachts.
Oh, just like Kiana.
Yeah. So she kind of segued me into that, which was really cool. So that was like a really unique experience. And then
Any stories from that time, sis?
Nothing exciting. The boats that I worked on were like they were run by their owners. Like it wasn't celebrities and people hiring it. Like it was just people. It was really fun experience going out to the Caribbean and getting to it was hard work, but you got to like party and experience like life, go out on the jet skis or go like diving, go and see the pigs, like all of that stuff that you wouldn't like. I couldn't afford to do at that time. Like we weren't paid to play. Like they paid for our flights and accommodation to go to games and all of that, but outside of that you had to like just make your own money. So
what were you doing then, like in season then?
Just hustling online. So we would print posters. Like we had because in America they've got a very big fan culture, different here. I mean, we have fandom here, but nowhere near on
that. Everything's like bam too. Like everything's like holy Rick. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Just like going and traveling.
So we had a big fan base, and they were like obsessed with us. So we could sign posters. $35 would send them out a poster. We were sending out loads of those every week after a game, or especially after the season as well. Sell our uniforms, sell our gloves, people wanted to buy like everything. Yeah, so we were just like literally like hustling like that.
Do they want your fellas bikinis too? Yeah, those uniforms. Oh, true. How much was one of those? How much was a Quincy Hewitt uniform?
I think it's like $500 US or something like that.
So they sold it for more. So say,
yeah, I know.
You know what's going to happen when you have the number one tea company in the world? Those people are going to sell those bikinis for heaps. No, they're going to sell them for heaps.
Yeah. Oh my God, how funny. I know. I think back to that time in my life. I think it's madness. And we also created a Patreon account. I don't know if you know about
Patreon. Yeah.
This was we played before the OnlyFans.
Yeah, the OG then, OG Patreon.
Yeah, so before OnlyFans was Patreon, we didn't do like the sexy stuff, but we just got all of our fans to come over and we just did like behind the scenes of our life. And then stuff that we wouldn't show on social media. Someone's coming over to get a massage, game day in the locker room, talking to the girls, clips like that, like stuff that people didn't get to see. And part of their subscription, they get like a 15-minute phone call with us, like a video call with us at the end of the month. Shit like that. Like we were just making shit up, right?
Yeah, but cool. I love the hustle. That's on.
Yeah.
Ahead of your time, because all that shit, that's what people do like now. Then
I actually think about that, and I thought like if OnlyFans was around then, because we were playing in the lingerie.
Oh no!
We got down but like, because you see nowadays, you just see some of these girls, they're making a fortune. Yeah, but like we just so like anytime we could, or someone would be like, "Do you girls want to come to this restaurant? We'll pay you $50 to do like a meet and greet." Like we were just doing whatever like we could.
Yeah, $50 for me to get $50. Did they give you a munch too? Oh,
yeah, and like we were really lucky because in Chicago, people like would know us. So like our local restaurants, like we would go and have a telly and we wouldn't pay, like they wouldn't even let us.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so everywhere we kind of went, people, it was nice. Chicago's a really cool city compared to LA, which is very pretentious. Fun, like so much fun. Don't get me wrong, but like just different, like Chicago's like a big country town. Like it's got that country mentality. People are just like way more friendly, really giving, how can I help you? What, just totally different. In LA, it's obviously how can I help you, but only so I can help myself. Different vibe, but yeah, it's cool.
Wow, that's crazy. Just think like our actual recounts when you become the biggest tea company in the world, detox tea company in the world. Someone's gonna get those bikinis out and slang them off for millions. Huh? Someone's gonna slang them off. They were like, "Bro, I got this for 500 back in the days." Forget Bitcoin, baby.
Right.
Yeah,
if we could get to the number one detox tea company in the world, that'd be huge. When we first started the company, we did research on like our biggest competitors, and the potential in this industry is huge if you get it right. There's a company there's a company in Perth. I think they sold out to an American company, but it's just huge money if you get it right.
Yeah, well, you're on the right path. I think, sis, you're on the right path. You
Yeah.
know? Well, and the cool thing is, like, because I'm on a mission to build the biggest podcast in the world. Crazy statement, but like, I've done. This is I launched this in January. This will be like the 280 something episode since January, just gone.
Wow.
Like I'm just all in, and for me, the biggest podcast in the world. I just want to talk to every human in the world that has a cool story, where they have a huge platform, or because there's people that I know that don't have a big or don't have a platform at all, but they got some stories, man, and just share those to the world. And you being Māori as well, I'm Māori, so like I also think we grow up and we hear about Aristotle, Plato, Homer, not the Simpson, but the Greek scholar, Socrates. Those guys are put on a pedestal as the greatest minds of ancient times. But our people, Māori, Pacifica, we were traversing the oceans using the stars, like way before like those fellows could even read and write. So I think we got some cool stories too. And yeah, it's cool. Like obviously, I'm grateful whether you're a Māori or not, so, or Pacifica or not. But hearing that too, it obviously strikes another chord too, because it makes me like, yeah, me. Like I think we can push our stories to the world. So I hope you do.
Yeah,
make the biggest tea company in the world, just because I'm going to make the biggest podcast in the world. One day, I don't know when, might be 10 years from now, someone's going to open their phone and they're going to see Mind the Mic podcast right there with JRE and whatever else is around.
I love that. I don't think there's ever any statement that's too big. I think that's the energy that you need to do with anything. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do something, don't do it half-assed.
Yeah, that's it.
The stars, like you might not always reach it. Like so many.
Well, at least you'll be closer than fucking everyone that sat there and didn't do anything.
Right?
Reader. What you can achieve is only limited by the scope of your ambition. You know what I mean? And what you're willing to put into it. So like, yeah. So that's for me. Like when you say, hopefully, like I reckon you can. Just why not? Like it already in just this 1 year. Look at the movement you've made. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And who knows what another year looks like in another year. I seen this. I seen this reel the other day talking about when you start something, right? Let's say there's 1,000 people that are doing what you want to do, like towards the direction you want to do it. after 3 years, those 1,000 people's down to 100. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then after another 3 years, that 100 people's down to 20, and then onwards to 10, and all you're doing, even if you're just outlasting people and still growing and enjoying like I actually believe this, like I found my purpose, like sitting here talking to people is what I was born to do. You know what I mean? Like, like literally, I've done that many episodes, but it doesn't feel like mahi. It doesn't even feel like work. Like I've done 2 this morning. I got another 2 to go after this. By the last one, it'll just be but I enjoy it. So yeah, I think that's key too, is living in purpose.
Yeah, if you're aligned, I think everything flows a lot easier. And just on your point of sharing people's stories, there's so many social media pages now. I don't know if you know Humans of New York. Have you seen that Instagram page?
No.
I'll send it to you afterwards. And there's like a Humans of New Zealand. I think there's a Humans of Kaitaia. And it's basically a page where a guy who walks around New York City, he takes pictures, but he'll meet people and then he shares their unique story. It's got millions of.
Or under a picture, like he'll write the description will be, oh, that's cool.
But people are genuinely really interested in other people's lives and their backgrounds and the hardships that they've been through to achieve what they have. And I'll send it to you. You'll be mind blown. I think it's really cool inspo for you and your point of like sharing people's stories and really getting into like who they are as people outside of the surface stuff and like what makes them who they are.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100% keen as. And if anybody else wants that, they might want to come on for a yarn, bring them. I don't care. I don't care if they got 100,000 followers or they don't even have fucking social media, like, because literally, I think there's so much. As unique as we are as individuals, there's also so much similarities and so much that people can take from each person's story, like said, and people say like, "Fuck, I went through that too," or "Is that how you were feeling?" I also look at it this way. Did you grow up with your grandparents at all? Like, were they around when you were growing up?
Yeah, just my mom, grandparents. Yeah.
So not your dad's.
No, they both passed before I was born.
So like, what would you give to have like, I don't know, like an hour of content of them speaking on like from their heart and what their experiences were and how they got like, that's pretty much a priceless sort of, want or desire. And I think of it that way, like whoever comes on this for years and years to come and whatever platform these live on, they will always have their people will always have an opportunity to hear, what they went through, even if it's just a small insight, whether they come on multiple times or this once. And even my grandchildren, great grandchildren, they can hear my journey. And even from January when I started this to, I don't know, let's say I'm 60 years old and I'm still doing this, they can hear the journey of life and that, you know what I mean, of the shit that I learned and how because I'm sure I'll change my mind throughout, and I reserve the right to get new information and change my mind on something, because you know what I mean, like I'm never set in stone, except for like morals wise I'm pretty set, but otherwise I'm sure there's heaps of shit that I'll say this year that in years time I won't agree with, maybe some things, you know what I mean. Yeah. So.
Which I think is the beauty of it. I think people get too stuck up on like, oh, I watched that. It was 3 years ago. Like who you are 3 years ago isn't who you are now.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully not, eh? Hopefully not.
That you're thinking differently. Like it's a timestamp, and that's what you were going through at that time or whatever. But yeah, like ideally, you're always learning and evolving and growing, and like you don't have to be stuck with old beliefs and patterns that don't serve you, or you don't have to be held accountable to those beliefs years later either. Like. I think this cancel culture, I mean, it's crazy. Like, oh, you can't say this, you can't do this, or someone's gone through someone's Twitter from 3 years ago. They wrote the word gay, or like they wrote, I don't know, something, and then they're getting crucified for it now. Like what you know then and what you know now and who you are, like it's not the same.
Wait, that's exactly right. So like. But like even like I had this I had this chat the other day with the sis, because we do like a show on here where we talk about she brings quotes and we break down what they sort of mean to us, or she brings them and she just asks questions and then we sort of break that down. That's one of the shows we do on the podcast as well every week. And I was sort of self-reflecting on like, because I used to be a streamer on TikTok. Like I don't know if you know much about the ranking system over. Do you understand that at all or no?
No, not really.
There's like a ranking system, like the top streamers and all that. But I got number one over there by like a year ago. But that sort of actually birthed this in a way, because I sort of felt like I wasn't living in my purpose at the time, and I was going to take my own life actually. And then my baby woke up at the same time I was about to rope it up, and was teething, crying, and I took it off and then said I'll go sort him out and then I'll come back and finish the job, because I just wasn't happy in myself. And then I picked him up, I'm consoling him, I'm crying, I'm like, fuck, what's going on? So I said to myself, oh, I'm not happy, I'm not living in my purpose. What I want to do is what I'm doing now, but I'm like, let me like just do it, let me work towards May last year. I want to launch in January, whether I launch by myself, whether I launch with other people, whatever. I just want to do it. I just want to start it and start the mission of trying to create the biggest podcast in the world. So yeah, January I did launch, and then I just promised myself every day to daily deposit something in towards doing this. I didn't know I was going to do this many episodes this quick and all that, and but yeah, it's cool. But in saying that, like in that journey, right, I look back at some of the stuff that I was doing when I was on TikTok, and I was like, fuck, that's not even me. Like, not even that it wasn't even me then. Like, that wasn't even me anyway. Like, it was like I did that stuff. Some of the things that I think about, and some of the things that people were saying about me at the time, I was like being defensive. But I was like, why do I even care about what they fuck? Like, why was I even trying to protect that so much? And then also some of the shit they were saying, I actually was at the time. You know what I mean? Like, but I realize that shit now, and I'm like, fuck. And I don't really, I don't like what I sort of became in that time, which, you know what I mean? Like, in this pursuit of trying to get number one, sort of losing myself as a human being, you know what I mean? Like a little bit, well, actually a lot. And I realize that shit now, doing what I love and what I really enjoy. Looking back now, I was like, fuck. That doesn't mean that I won't get back on TikTok and maybe go live here and there. I haven't, like, hardly, but or even I might chase number one again one day just to see if we can do it. But I definitely am like, oof, I don't like that me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's really cool. I appreciate you sharing that. I think that's like massively heavy, and it's also like really good self-awareness that you can come through those stages and see like where you were at and like get through it. And like I feel like that's inspiring to someone, right? Because there's people out there all the time who feel like there's nothing to live for, it's too hard, I've lost myself, and then to see someone like you that's been at that brink and then come back and like change your life and like living in your purpose now, and your energy is like so good, and like the sharing of the stories, like your desire to like just like let people have a platform to share their voice. I don't know, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I just think I enjoy it. It's just like I just heard some cool stories just before with her sister. She was in the Navy. She's a musician. She had a song out on radio when she was 11. But like, I was crazy. But like that story is crazy. Even coming here and listening to you and sharing all your yarns, like, I like in a way this is my therapy too. It's just like, speaking, but like hearing you speak and like, you know what I mean, and then like also. Don't get me wrong, like I'm always competitive so like the people that said fucking everyone does podcasts, why are you doing that? Like all like a lot of them my family. Like, oh, why are you doing that for? Now they're like, oh fuck, that person's cool or this way. Oh, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, like all of that still fuels me too, I think too as well. So like, prove them wrong, I guess. Yeah.
The closest people to you are the harshest critics, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I see Dana White, the UFC president.
Yeah.
And he was saying that on the Flagrant podcast, talking about that, like, because I think, I don't know what the network is, but I'll just say it's Disney because I know they own ESPN. But the network wanted to sack Joe Rogan from the UFC because of his comments on, some of the comments on his podcast towards, some of the stupid things that exist today. And then they pretty much told Dana White to sack him, and Dana White said, if he goes, I go. Like, canceling my bro, like, one, for how important he is to this whole sport, but also because Dana believes in free speech, not in like free speech where I can say what I want to say, but you can't. Like, he believes everybody should be able to say whether we agree with the shit or not, like, which is like the foundation, like stone of America as a nation. Is like the ability for them to be able to, because that's the thing with the cancel culture is like they're censoring people's ideas and thoughts. But in society, like, how do we only grow and move forward as society if we all disagree and like come together and figure it out, you know what I mean? But if you censor people's thoughts, censor people's arguments, but you can shut down part of society and not allow them to, that's not just one person's idea. There's like a lot of people that might feel that way, and you just cast them out and say they can't speak. That's why, I just think, the world we live in with the cancel culture. But he said in that, like, no one can really cancel you. You only cancel if you give up. Like, you know what I mean? The only one, like, your family could if it really affects you. I'm at the point though where I don't like, well, if my family try to cancel me, I don't care either. But like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, they're not here putting in these rips. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's for me. Like, as long as I'm pushing forward into that, then whatever. Yeah, I think that's the thing too. Like, yeah, you're right. There's a world where people go back and pull through threads that are years and years ago. But if you stop posting and stop doing whatever you're doing, that's when they win. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might lose something here and there, sponsorship. But like Dana said, when I don't know if you know Theo Vaughn, dude, you know him?
No.
He's a podcaster, but he podcasted Dana on another one, and he said that he got cancelled for having a certain person on his podcast. He got not cancelled. He got told by one of one of the sponsors that they didn't want to sponsor the episode told him to pull it down, or they were going to pull their sponsorship because he had this dude on their podcast, right, on his podcast. And then Dana, it was Peloton, which is, you know, the stationary bikes. And then he's like, well, fuck them. And then Dana went and pulled them all out of the UFC gym and was like, fuck Peloton, we'll get some new bikes. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a lot of obviously controversy when it comes to Dana about whether the fighters pays or whatever. But when it comes to just, I think being someone that, you know, stands that created, because think about it, UFC is a huge multi-billion-dollar company now. But 20 years ago, no one even wanted it. Couldn't make it on TV, nothing. You know what I mean? So
I watched a YouTube video about the evolution of the UFC, and they pulled it down now. And I think it's because they might be going to make a doco, or maybe they were just not allowed to, because it was like 15 minutes. It was so cool about like how much money they put into it, because the two other brothers, their dad,
the Fertitas, Fertitas,
the casino, and he was kind of funding in the money, but they weren't making any money. Like it was a dead. And when you're in business and you can see all the money going out and not as much coming in, and you just think, fuck, like, you know, how long can we do this? What do we need to do? What do we need to change? And then you look at those stories and you think the stress would have just been like phenomenal, right? Because if someone's spending millions and millions
of dollars, like 40 mil, I think they were in the hole.
Like that's deep in the hole. Yeah. So, and then look at it now and the turnaround, and like that's what Jane and I always talk about too. Like it only takes one video, one person. At the end of last year, I met a woman at a charity event. Incredible woman. Caro, like she's amazing. She's from Townsville, and she was telling me about her shampoo. I was telling her about the tea. Anyway, she's like, yeah, I would love to try it. We didn't think too much of it. Afterwards, we messaged. She's like, yeah, send me some. I sent her some. She posted about it. We sold out in like 2 days, like crazy. Like we put the website on pre-order and my phone was just chinging off the hook. I was like, holy shit. From like just sales trickling in to like it turned our whole business around. It allowed us to be able to buy way more stock. It allowed us to start Facebook advertising because we didn't have a budget for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like all it takes is like just consistent action and belief along the way. But then just one thing can like change the whole experience. Like took us to a whole new level. Now we have a bigger marketing team. Now, you know, like incrementally you can start like working with bigger influencers. Like everything's like the doors start to open, but it was just that one turning point, like one meeting with one person. I don't know, can change the whole life.
And that's also like, and good on you, like, you know, and if you didn't stay in it, like you and the homie, like, and just believe in what you're doing, you know, you don't get it. And not only that, you've had been in business before and things, you know, you know what I mean? Didn't like, but you I don't know, like you stayed together and fucking look, like it's just now and it's only the beginning, man. Like, yeah, I think that's it. Like if you believe in yourself enough, like, and like you said, you've done all the mahi, you've done all the research. Keep going, and you know this is the goods. So you knew that was the goods. Like the stuff is the goods. It works. So I'm with you. So keep smashing it there. Keep smashing it. Not another detox tea. No.
If you're watching this, you need it.
yeah. Actual and listening too. If you're listening audibly. Before we get out of here too, so I've got a couple of quick questions, if that's okay.
Yep.
If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, you can't say the tea. You got to eat this every day. What would you choose?
Oh, pasta.
What pasta? Like, what's the option? What do we go?
Not just have different variations every day. It's just one single individual.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
God, I just don't think I could do that. Okay, like.
Yeah, but you have to because otherwise, yeah.
Okay, burger. I would have a burger every day.
Okay.
Yeah, some kind of variation of a cheeseburger. I love burgers and I love pasta, but I feel like you'd probably get sick of pasta before you got sick of burgers.
Oh, yeah. Right. You're the burgers. What about superpowers besides being about to be a super mama? and all the superpowers you already possess, what would you choose out of the superpowers that exist in the world of superpowers? Or you could even create one if you want to, and why?
Ooh. I think like foresight, like being able to see things before they happen, and like that would be a really cool superpower. I love talking to like psychics or
Oh,
mediums,
true.
spiritual healers and
Are
things
you
like
one?
that. No, I'm not. I wish I was. But I just love to work with people like that and like meet people like that. I think it's really interesting. I've had some incredible like readings and things over the years, and I just think like it's so amazing some of the stuff people can say, and you think, how did you know that? And
There you go.
I feel like if you could, yeah, if you could, because obviously the future can be melded. So I think if you could see things, you could fast track things, because you're like, okay, well, that's going to happen. How do I make it happen like now, not in a year?
Yeah, I get you. Getting any advice for anybody out there wanting to start a business and like they've done the research, they really believe in this product that they want to take to market?
I think go for it, but I think a lot of people say be really realistic about your goals. I always have really big goals and really small time frames. I think just being like really realistic about the time it's going to take you to achieve your goals and the financial cost. And then just be consistent. Like, you know, you can do absolutely anything if you like stay consistent, but yeah, it takes us time and money, and you've just got to like stay true to that. Just like keep pushing. It's not easy.
Yeah, solid. Give us a visualization 10 years from now. What does life look like for Quincy Hewitt?
Ooh, I am definitely like living overseas, I think. We've got NADT is like wholesale all over the world, like TV shopping, all the big pharmacies, the Walgreens, like all the huge ones are like stocking our product. I think that we're probably like Not Another is part of like a bigger plan for us. So there'll be other branches that come off that. So I just think like building like an empire for my family where they don't have to like stress and worry and go through the grind. Like obviously I think it's really important to like children, but I think just give my mom the nice life, give my kids, whatever, a nice
You're
life.
gonna have some more?
No, I don't think so. But yeah.
No, I mean, no, exciting. I look forward to seeing that. I just want to say time's the most valuable commodity we have as human beings. The one thing we can never get back. We can always get back money, things, but time spent is time lost. So thank you for sharing over an hour of your time with me and anybody that listens to this for years to come. I'm sure that just like myself, they will take plenty of value from it. And I hope it's not the last time. So maybe one day we can catch up for a burger, you and Mr. Bulla Bulla and your kid. And maybe the whānau, and yeah, hard. And I'm gonna have to look into this tea for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, and you can find me online like at Not Another Detox Tea on Instagram, on socials. I'm not very big on TikTok, but yeah, any questions anyone has, shoot.
Yeah, hit that up. But I'll put it all in the description too, so
Okay,
all of that stuff as well. Big love. Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.